Welcome! Today, we're diving into a force that's always present in aviation, a subtle yet powerful influence that shapes decisions every day. Commercial pressure. It's a critical concept for anyone involved in the industry to understand. It's the push to get the job done, the underlying current that drives many operational choices: depart on time, adhering to strict schedules and minimizing delays. Keep passengers happy, ensuring a smooth and pleasant travel experience for everyone on board, and avoid costly delays, which can impact an airline's bottom line significantly. Even when risks are present, it's about maintaining efficiency and profitability, but at what cost? Commercial pressure is the tension between what's safe, adhering to regulations and best practices, and what's profitable or convenient. It's a constant balancing act that requires careful consideration. It's that subtle urge to, perhaps, bend a rule just a little to keep things moving. Take off with a minor issue, hoping it won't escalate during the flight, or fly a riskier route, perhaps closer to a storm to save time or money. These decisions, though seemingly small, can have significant consequences. These pressures are often quiet, insidious, building up over time and influencing small choices. They can subtly shift our perception of risk. Airlines must be efficient and profitable, that's the nature of the business, but the problem comes when commercial goals overshadow safety. That's when accidents happen. Every pilot faces these moments: the internal debate, the weighing of options. The challenge is to keep safety as the top priority, always. It's a non-negotiable aspect of the job. Think of it as a scale, a delicate balance that needs constant monitoring. Safety on one side, representing the well-being of passengers and crew, commercial drivers on the other, the pressures of deadlines and financial targets. Our job is to keep the scale tipped towards safety, ensuring that it always outweighs commercial considerations, no matter what. This commitment is what defines a true aviation professional. Commercial pressure tries to tip that scale, subtly and persistently, tempting us to compromise our standards and make decisions we might later regret. As aviation professionals, we must recognize this insidious influence, understand its potential impact, and keep safety first every single flight. It's the foundation of a strong safety culture. Why is commercial pressure always present? Because aviation is a fiercely competitive, service-driven industry. Passengers expect low fares and punctuality, so airlines push for efficiency. Delays ripple through the system, costing huge sums and damaging reputations. This pressure trickles down from management to the cockpit and maintenance hangar. Low-cost carriers and demanding clients add even more pressure to meet tight schedules. Every minute on the ground costs money. Every missed connection means unhappy customers. Pilots are both safety authorities and company employees. This dual role creates constant tension. Navigating this pressure is as critical as any technical skill. It's always there, and learning to manage it is essential. Commercial pressure affects pilots and engineers, the guardians of safety. For pilots, it can cause plan continuation bias, sticking to the original plan even when conditions change. The urge to avoid diversions or delays can lead to risky decisions, like continuing an approach in bad weather. Over time, small compromises erode safety margins. For engineers, time pressure can mean rushed repairs or deferring maintenance to keep planes flying. This puts them in a tough spot, balancing professional standards with operational demands. The result? Stress, fatigue, and burnout, which increase the risk of mistakes. Fatigued pilots and stressed engineers are more likely to miss critical details. The impact of commercial pressure goes far beyond the bottom line. It directly affects the well-being and performance of those responsible for safety. Spotting commercial pressure early is a vital skill for pilots. It often hides in language that prioritizes speed over procedure. Phrases like, "Can we make up time?" or "Is that check really necessary?" If you find yourself justifying a decision for convenience, not safety, that's a red flag. Pressure can also come from dispatch, like being urged to take minimal fuel. Remember the Lamia Flight 2933 accident? Fuel planning shortcuts led to disaster. Trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Airmanship means listening to that intuition, not ignoring it. Never be afraid to pause and reevaluate, no matter the rush. When commercial pressure dictates actions within an airline, especially when profitability trumps safety, it sets off a dangerous chain reaction, where one compromise leads to another, ultimately increasing the risk of an accident. This domino effect can be subtle but devastating. Accepting flights with known technical defects, even minor ones, even if legal under minimum equipment lists, removes vital safety layers that are designed to protect passengers and crew. These layers are there for a reason. Air Transat Flight 236, which glided into the Azores without fuel, is a classic case. Maintenance shortcuts, driven by cost-cutting measures, led to a fuel leak and near disaster, demonstrating the real-world consequences of prioritizing profit over proper procedures. Fuel-related incidents are another significant risk. Pressure to minimize fuel, often to save money and increase payload, can leave flight crews with absolutely no margin for error in the event of unexpected delays, diversions, or changes in weather conditions. Avianca Flight 52 tragically ran out of fuel after a combination of overly optimistic flight planning and critically poor communication with air traffic control during an emergency situation. Commercial pressure can also insidiously lead to risky landings in adverse weather conditions, a phenomenon often referred to as get-there-itis, where the desire to reach the destination overrides sound judgment. The devastating 2010 Polish Air Force crash tragically showed how even highly experienced and well-trained crews can succumb to this dangerous mindset. Furthermore, commercial pressure can insidiously break down effective crew resource management, ultimately silencing vital voices and dissenting opinions within the cockpit, which are crucial for identifying and mitigating potential hazards. When open and honest communication fails, even minor errors can go uncorrected, snowballing into much larger and more dangerous problems. Ultimately, safety in aviation relies heavily on every single crew member feeling empowered and encouraged to speak up without fear of reprisal, regardless of their position. Commercial pressure directly threatens that fundamental foundation of safety, potentially putting lives at risk. As a pilot, you're the final authority, ultimately responsible for the safety and well-being of everyone on board. This responsibility demands unwavering commitment to safety protocols and informed decision-making. Therefore, your best defense is knowing the rules inside and out. A deep understanding of aviation regulations isn't just about compliance, it's about building a solid foundation for safe and effective flight operations. Use regulations as your shield, a protective barrier against potential hazards and pressures. Treat them as guidelines designed to keep you, your crew, and your passengers safe. Don't hesitate to say, "We can't depart because the rules say so." It's a powerful statement that prioritizes safety above all else. Set firm boundaries, especially with demanding clients who may not fully understand the complexities and critical nature of aviation safety. Clearly explain that delays are for safety, not inconvenience. Emphasize that these precautions are in place to ensure a safe and comfortable journey for everyone involved. Communicate openly in the cockpit. Foster an environment where every crew member feels comfortable sharing their observations and concerns. Actively encourage questions and concerns from all crew members, regardless of their experience level or position. A fresh perspective can often identify potential risks. A simple statement like, "If you see anything unsafe, speak up," empowers everyone to take ownership of safety. It creates a culture of vigilance and shared responsibility. Practice crew resource management. Make the cockpit a team, not a hierarchy. Value each member's input and expertise. Always have a plan B. Anticipate potential challenges and prepare alternative courses of action. Know your personal limits before you fly. Be honest with yourself about your capabilities and limitations on any given day. Decide in advance what you won't accept, especially when tired. Establish clear boundaries for acceptable risk levels. Fatigue lowers resistance to pressure, so pre-decide your no-go items. This proactive approach will help you make sound judgments even when under duress. Remember, it's better to be on the ground wishing you were in the air than the other way around. The consequences of pushing beyond safe limits can be devastating. Safety is non-negotiable. It's the foundation upon which every flight should be built. Stand firm, every flight. Uphold your commitment to safety, regardless of external pressures or perceived inconveniences. Managing commercial pressure starts at the top. Operators must lead by example. Safety first must be more than a slogan. It should shape policies, schedules, and incentives. Build realistic schedules with buffer time and prioritize safety and fuel policies. Manage crew rosters to prevent fatigue. Well-rested crews are safer. Invest in scenario-based training on handling commercial pressure. Use simulators to practice saying no in tough situations. Train everyone, dispatchers, schedulers, management, to understand the pressures crews face. Separate commercial and operational communication. Pilots should deal with flight ops, not sales. This firewall insulates crews from direct commercial influence. A resilient system resists pressure and keeps safety at the core. The strongest defense against commercial pressure is a just culture. In a just culture, people report safety concerns without fear of punishment. Management supports decisions made for safety, not cost. Confidential, non-punitive reporting systems turn every employee into a safety sensor. Analyzing these reports helps fix root causes before incidents happen. In the cockpit, open communication is vital. Junior crew must feel safe to speak up. Famous accidents show the cost of silence. A good captain welcomes input. The focus shifts from blame to learning and prevention. Positive reinforcement shows that safety is the company's true value. Managing commercial pressure is everyone's responsibility, from passengers to pilots to management. Efficiency and profit are permanent pressures, but safety must always come first. Accidents like Lamia 2933 and Avianca 52 are tragic reminders of what's at stake. By learning from the past and supporting each other, we protect the future. Pilots need courage to say no. Companies must back them up. Regulators must enforce the rules. Even passengers play a role by valuing safety over speed. When everyone pulls together, the industry becomes resilient. Let's commit to open conversations, robust training, and a just culture everywhere. Technology helps, but people are our greatest asset. Together we can keep our skies safe. Thank you for flying with me today.